Hello everyone, and welcome to my new X Factor Chimps guide with Gwen, Snipers, and Sentry Champion. This is going to be pretty interesting. First, we have the starting darts. These guys can be a little tricky, but aren't too hard. This guy just goes as top left as possible here, just shove him in the corner. And this guy is the real tricky one. You kind of just want to put him as bottom left as possible. But the way that you tell that is the range border should touch like the lighter part of the circle right here a little bit, and then it shouldn't toward the top. It's kind of a weird visual indicator, but it should work. Just as bottom left as possible should also work. For round 7, we get a sniper right over here, just as bottom right as possible. Set to strong. We are going to upgrade these snipers later, so it is important that they are here. And I said these snipers because we're getting a second one on round 9 right over here, just as bottom right as possible. Set to strong as well. And now we're just going to go straight for Gwen on round 14. Whoops, I said round 14, I actually meant round 13. Just place her right over here as right and as middle as possible. For round 15, we're going to get a druid right over here, just in this circle here. And we're going to set this guy to strong for now. We might switch him to first later, depending on if I remember to or not. And for 16, we get a second one just right up here, set to strong as well. On 19, get shrapnel on your bottom sniper, and leave it on strong for now. And then put your cocktail down here, and then just use it near the start of the round. We should be able to have it back up for 23, which is when we need it next. For 21, get fast firing, and then switch your sniper to first. Your shrapnel sniper, that is. The other guy should definitely be on strong. And this round might look a bit close at times, but is pretty consistent. For 22, get full metal jacket. And just a little bit into the round, like once a lot of things start to reach the bottom, we just want to use cocktail on them, so that it hopefully lasts a little bit into 23, and we beat the round pretty easily. For 24, get even faster firing, and now we're just going to go straight for bouncing bullet. On round 27, you actually want to... now you can keep your cocktail down here, that's fine. And then, once the yellows show up, just use the cocktail. 29 might actually look a bit sketchy, which is, I think, the first time anyone has ever said that sentence. Maybe ever. But, yeah, our defense isn't great against that. And then for 30, just get Bouncing Bullet with $1 to spare. Even though we just bought our first big power spike, we still need to move our cocktail at the top and use it on 31. Because of course we do. On 34, we're going to get a village right over here, just as right as possible while being like in line with the sniper over here. They should be on like the same level. And we're going to upgrade this guy to a 020, or no, not 020, 002 Monkey Commerce. Should be able to get Monkey Commerce here on 35. Move your cocktail back down to the bottom here. And now we're going to have to upgrade this sniper mid-round. Get him to 102 once you can afford it. And you are also going to have to use a cocktail on the rainbows, and then buy this upgrade as quickly as possible. We have to do this just so that we can save as much money for later as possible, because money is actually a bit tight in the setup toward the end of the run. Let the first wave of 36 go through, and then once the second wave shows up, just cocktail it. And cocktail lasts for waves 2 and 3, so you should be good. For 37, get large caliber. For 38, set your druids to first. I think this makes it slightly less close. And then just use a cocktail if a bunch of pinks start to, like, go through the middle obstacle. For 39, get semi-automatic on your sniper. And this guy should just beat 39 and 40. Except for 40, we do want to use a cocktail here, just because, why not? For 42, get yourself an alchemist right over here, and upgrade it to a 301 Berserker Brew with faster throwing. For 45, get yourself a second village right over here, just above your other one, but a little to the left, and then get radar scanner on it. We need this guy to be able to pop camos. You can also get jungle drums on it now, and then we're going to get full auto rifle on this guy as well. Just get full auto for 48, and then set him to first, and now we're going to start saving up for elite sniper, the tier 5. Get supply drop on 51, and use the money crate as much as possible to generate money. This definitely works. I'm definitely not just joking. On round 59 here, get elite sniper and then switch it back to first because the game thinks that elite targeting is actually good, even though it's not. And now we're going to go for the second tier 5 of the run, which is actually just going to be elite defender. Elite sniper and elite defender actually pair really, really well together, and can do just a lot of damage on their own, which is pretty cool. Especially considering you can afford them on like round 70, and they can be your main DPS for an entire game. On round 69 here, you should be able to get elite defender. And now we're actually going to start going for the Sentry Champion, which I mentioned at the beginning of the video. This guy just goes as right as possible, and as middle as possible here, next to Gwen. And we're just going to upgrade this guy straight to a 500 Sentry Champion, and then we'll get the middle cross path afterward. The reason we just go for the tier 5 upgrade first before the cross path is Sentry Expert doesn't really contribute anything to the setup, considering we already have 2 tier 5 snipers. And I would rather just get the upgrade a little bit quicker. '81 might look a little bit sketchy at times, so if you want to use just like a firestorm to help things get cleared up, go for it. The heated up buff isn't really that good right now, but soon it will be a lot better, just in time for Sentry Champion. You should be able to get Sentry Champion mid 82, and I would recommend getting it mid-round, just so that it starts deploying good sentries for the fortifieds, because Elite Sniper and Elite Defender, even though we have two of them, or two tier 5s, actually still somehow struggle to the fortifieds. And then get deconstruction on it for 83. And now we're actually going to get a third sniper. This guy goes right over here between your two villages, like this. And he should not steal the alch buff from your elite sniper. If he does, that is not good. And we're just going to upgrade this guy to a 420 May Moab set to elite. Yes, we're actually going to use elite targeting in this run, even though I said it's bad. It works on May Moab specifically because it'll just prioritize strong and then switch to first if it really needs to. So that's cool. Oh yeah, and we're also going to not suck at the game and give it a 301 alch buff. Because an alched maim is like 3 times better than an unalched, but only if it's the middle cross path. If it's the bottom cross path, don't alch it. And now we're going to go for what is very weird, or what seems very weird, but is actually the most cost-efficient support in this entire setup. Call to Arms. Call to Arms has a very funny interaction with Sentry Champion, where it increases the rate at which sentries are placed, and then also the attack speed of the sentries. So it pretty much has a double effect on Sentry Champion, so that's pretty cool. On 91, when ceramics start to get a little bit far, just use like a firestorm to get things cleared up a little bit. That should be right about when the round starts to pop as well, and your snipers should deal with it. Feel free to use a cocktail if you'd like, but shouldn't be needed. A lot of these rounds are going to start looking pretty close, but we also have 2 global snipers that can deal with it, so they're not as close as it looks. On 93, just use a firestorm on the DDTs, just so that we have the heated up buff and actually do damage to them. Or good damage, I mean. On 94, once ZOMGs start to make it through the middle obstacle, we're just going to firestorm and cocktail. And the cocktail should be on the bottom. And this should just clear up the round pretty well. Bit close, but that's normal. And then 95, Call to Arms. And just use the ability once the DDTs show up, and you should be good. This is where our Sentry Champion starts to do a lot of damage, and it's not just snipers carrying. Even though the snipers are still carrying. For 96, get a glue gunner up here, and we're just going to upgrade this guy to a 013 Moab glue set to strong. Also, firestorm the first wave of fortified Moabs, and then just Call to Arms the second. The reason we're putting this guy up here, even though it doesn't really do anything this round, is because we need it for the next few rounds, so might as well just get it now. For 97, get yourself a boomerang up here, next to your dart, and upgrade it to a 204 Moab press, set to strong, and then get a second one in the loop right over here as well. Don't use any abilities on 97, we want them for 98. Okay, so actually get the second press for 98, because you should be able to afford it now. And on 98, pretty much the reason we have this is so that we can stall out the top side while killing the bottom side and then dealing with the top side after. Just Call to Arms and Firestorm instantly to start the round. This is just so that we do a little bit of damage to the bottom side, and we still get it back up for the latter half of the round. What we're going to want to do here is just Call to Arms off cooldown here, and Firestorm as well, just once you get the cooldown. And once a lot of things start to make it through the bottom, just use a cocktail to help clear them up. And just like that, our tag team of Gwen buffed towers has destroyed round 98. For 99, just call to arms on the DDTs. For round 100, buy anything you'd like, but you don't actually have to buy anything. So just Firestorm, and then Cocktail once the bad starts to go up. And then call the arms off cooldown just to finish off the game. And boom. With that, you should now have your X Factor Chimps Black Border with the most goated strategy of all time involving Sentry Champion. I hope this guide helped you out in some way. Have a nice rest of your day, and goodbye.